Hello everyone, welcome to my new video. In this video I'll finally show you how I created these two portraits of characters from Breaking Bad, Walter White and Jesse Pinkman. Let me show you how I was painting it. So that's it, that's how I created these portraits. As always, I was using acrylic paints. Also, when I was painting these portraits, I realized that there is a thing that I want to talk about. I want to talk about realistic and academic art. There is a problem that I see all the time. The people were doing same mistakes over and over again when they paint skin of a people. For some reason, people always afraid of using complementary colors. For example, if you look at the Jesse Pinkman's face, in the area of light, he has this orangey ochre color. But I added green color in the shadows. Let's talk about other example. For example, if you look at Jenna Ortega, if you look at this portrait, you will see that I'm not using only warm paints. I'm using combination of warm tone and cold tone. Here in the light area, she had this pale green color. And in shadows, she has this orangey brown color. I was not afraid of using these bright blue and green colors. Or if you look at the Joy Sunday's portrait, I'm always using warm and cold colors. If you look closely at her portrait, you can see brown, orange, red, blue and green colors. Why am I saying all of that? There is a rule that if you are using warm color in shadows, then the light should be cold. And the opposite. I made these observations many years ago when I was painting portraits digitally in Photoshop, when I was only starting. You may ask me why I'm talking about this. A few days ago I saw two videos of two different artists who paint in realistic style figures and portraits. These were the great artists, but they had the same problem. They were using very limited palette, and I'm not saying that limited palette is bad. There is a difference when limited palette but you use 3 or more colors, or when we talk about limited palette and you use only 2 colors. And by the way, when I say colors, I don't mean I'm not talking about value structure. Value structure is other thing. I'm talking about saturation and about color. When I'm saying brown color and orange color, by this I mean that all shade of orange, from pale orange to dark orange, and from brown, from very pale brown to dark brown. And by the way, when I say that light should be cold and shadows should be warm, I'm not saying that the whole surface in light area that it should be only cold. No, I'm saying that main color should be cold. You can use other sparkles and splashes of warm color. If you're painting in realistic style and want to make something super shiny, you can use cold and warm colors together. For example, if you paint something this blue color, if you want light to pop, you need to use not only light color but also saturated warm colors. Warm colors look more warm and saturated on a cold background. I also want to talk about why I did not paint more portraits. This is because right now I'm painting new animation, and while I can talk about realistic art or impressionism because this is what I've been studying for years, I can say that I'm still amateur in animation. And I realized this because right now I'm creating new animation. This is going to be fun animation. I painted half of the animation. If we talk about animation, I realized how difficult this is for me to make jokes based on movement. For example, when there's a comedy based not on what people say, but how they move and their reaction, this is more difficult. Right now I'm drawing this animation, and the comedy is based on awkward situations where characters move how they should not move. You will understand it later when I'll post this animation. Also yesterday, scared for a few seconds because I thought that my exercise bike is broken, but no, it's fixed and I can continue exercising. I have not stopped exercising. I realized that exercise bike is helping my body to not fall apart. Thank you so much for watching. In the next videos you'll see my new animation. I'll see you in the next videos.